Hello, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Wednesday, the 30th of April, 2025. I'm Jeannie, and I'm so glad you've decided to come along for the ride on this hump day, the last hump day of the month. Well, here's something interesting that happened to me in recent days. I got a WhatsApp text message from a friend in Ireland, and it said, "Hey Jerome, here's the list of songs that we'll be playing for the upcoming concert in the park." And I thought, what? And there's this list of songs. And I realized, oh my goodness, this person probably meant to send this to someone named Jerome, not me. So I texted back and I said, "Hey Gwyneth," she plays guitar for her church band, and they were going to have a concert in the park, and she had told me about it, so that's how I realized what this was all about. I said, "I think this message was meant for somebody else." So she writes back and says, "Oops, silly me, I didn't have my glasses on, and Jerome is right below Jeannie on my address list, and sorry about that." I said, "Okay, no problem." Well, here I am thinking that was so silly of her. How could she have been so careless? Well, guess what? That same day, later on that day, I did the same thing. And this is really funny because I was sending a message to a volunteer about a meeting, and her nickname is Buttercup. So I wrote, "Hey Buttercup, don't forget the meeting on Tuesday afternoon," or something like that. And shortly after, I get a text back saying, "Jeannie, I think this was meant for somebody else." And it was my sister I had sent it to. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So I wrote back and I said, "Yes, it was. It was for somebody else. Thanks for bringing it to my attention." Can you imagine if I had sent that to somebody like a business person or somebody I was dealing with in some other capacity and call them Buttercup? That could have been a really dangerous thing. So what did I learn from all of this? Well, I learned a couple of things. First of all, be really careful about who you're sending your message to. Make sure that if you're texting somebody or WhatsApping them or messengering them or even Facebooking them, make sure that you're sending it to the correct recipient. That's the first thing I learned. And then another thing, when I really started thinking about what deeper thing may I have learned from this, and that is this. You have to be very careful when you do communicate with people, because it could be something that you shouldn't be communicating. Maybe an insult, maybe gossip, something like that. What if that had gone to the wrong person and it ended up being something that shouldn't have been said, like texting back and saying, "Did you see that ugly outfit that so-and-so had on today at work?" or something terrible like that. Well, I never would do that. I really, truly would not do that. But there are some who do. So don't just be careful that you don't gossip to the wrong person. No, or that you know what I'm saying. But how about guarding yourself that you don't do it at all? And that was something that was really buried in my heart that day. Jeannie, careful not only who you communicate with, but make sure that you're not communicating the wrong things. All right, now go out and be a blessing to somebody today. You may end up being the only one who is. And if you're sending them a text, make sure it's the right one that you're sending it to. Don't forget also to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Jeanne Sigler, JeanneSigler. Hit the subscribe button, that notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. That really helps with the algorithms. And don't forget also, please, to follow me on X. It is at Jeannie NY Woman, at JeanneNY Woman. Hit that follow. It really, really helps. Okay? Now listen, don't forget to please tune into my program, Through the Eyes of a New York Woman, every Saturday on UltimateOldiesRadio.com at 9 Eastern, 8 Central AM and PM, and an encore presentation on Oldies700.com on Sundays at 5 Eastern, 4 Central AM and PM. Have a good day and watch that texting, okay? And make sure you keep it nice and polite. I love you. I'll see you next week, which will be next month. Bye-bye.